With crazy people, you don't have to completely understand them. You just have to be cognizant of their craziness and that they continue to be so. Like addicts, you don't have to completely understand why they keep doing it. You just have to be cognizant and then understand. Like I told you guys a couple of nights ago, about, yeah, if I was a rich son of a bitch and had lots of money, I would turn sex into a business proposition because that's the way I'd be. Okay? You don't have to understand. I think, being raised in this superficial society and this superficial process of what they perceive as evolution. Like when you try to date a girl and she totally just, she instigates the relationship and then she totally lets you down. Then you get jaded and think, well, I'm gonna have sex with a Korean girl. I'm gonna have sex with, I'm gonna break every heart I can. I'm being scourge on women. You're gonna be Merle Haggard. I'm just, they use us. I'm gonna use them. I'm gonna get all the sex. I'm gonna, instead of being okay, I'm gonna focus on the one girl. She's the most beautiful girl in the world. I love her, and she's like, no, I'm gonna get out and I'm gonna be superficial and frivolous, and you go through that kind of reaction because you get very emotionally upset and mad and you feel betrayed. Okay. It if you're intelligent, it doesn't last, right? Especially when you're young and you're indoctrinated into a ridiculous society of insane, superficial narcissism and superficial frivolity. It's horrible, right? It's real hard to navigate your way through it. And everybody, well, Krishna Birdie and Jutsu Suzuki and all these people were so much more advanced than you at their certain things age. I got to be myself. They were picked up and taken by the greatest and the elitist, and they talk to them. Well, what do you think of this, Judo? Well, with the perception of reality and the eternal blah blah. You see what and me, my mom gave me the classics. I read Socrates, Plato, and Plato's interpretation of Socrates from what he was, and stuff. And so I would read certain things. I wouldn't devour them. I would just, oh, wow, and I'd look at them and read them. And, like Plato's Republic was boring, and so I didn't, when it got real boring and it got, government and blah, and I loved Thoreau, but it was boring. So I didn't read too much of it, but I could understand the genius and the intelligence and the patience and the beauty in it. I just didn't have time. 1 out of 12, 1 out of 12. Solid gold dancers. Wow, okay. Football, basketball, right? So I was an American, right? And so, but I was always, everyone always said that about it. He's very deep. Okay. And that's what they always said. Man, he's deep. And I'm like, I am? Are you sure? Because I am a total dork. I was just a nut. I was big. Okay, joke factory. And so, I'm deep. What happens? When does that come out? Oh, you get to know me. I think it even happens when you don't. Because being the anti-bully, and then asking people questions, a person looks like a child molester. What does a child molester look like? What do you mean? Yeah. The gym coach, the hot one? Okay, do you understand? So you got to understand that we just have to control ourselves. We have to learn to control ourselves and be in control of ourselves. Most of all, intellectually. Okay. That's where you need the most controls, intellectually. Because when you think you're intelligent, God damn, and they're so successful, and they think they're so brilliant, and they just keep going. You're like, fuck. So seriously, have you lived the Lord's Prayer for 5 fucking minutes? You've even attempted to even talk about living it for 5 minutes. Freedom. Why do you even use the word? You're a complete fucking brain chemical addicted asshole. What's a child molester look like? Your gym coach, right? And so you sit there. Yeah, I looked at the one with the black girl with the nice skin with the, why? Because I was like, whoa. Oh, wow. Yeah, there's lots of guys. Oh man, that woman's body. She didn't have big, no, she had big boobs. She got thighs, and she's pretty. Okay, and so yeah, I looked at the picture on that. Of course, those are the kind of women I was attracted to when I was younger. What about now? We got to talk first, because you know what I'm saying. We got to talk, because I was physically, athletically dominant and then intellectually superior to most people. And, you get all these people, you're just, oh, no, he didn't. No, I quit because it was insane. I thought one day, if I thought if I teach and I coach, it'll get better. You know, it'll get better and kids will be able to be healthy at it and enjoy it. And then when they're ready to lay it down and, just, get to living and loving. See, the big thing is like this. Professional athletes, right? I worked really hard. Okay. If these men and these people down here in the Southwest don't harvest the lettuce and the carrots and the Taco Bell, okay, what good is shooting 3-pointers? What good is scoring touchdowns? Okay. Eat first. Praise the Lord. Now, take your money and shove it all up in that ass, right? Okay. See why I quit? Okay. I quit because I'm better than you. I quit because I'm more intelligent than you. I quit because I'm kinder and braver than you. I didn't quit because I couldn't kick your ass faster than you could suck your own dick because you're in yoga. Right? Hey, look, it's Jim Carrey. He's being funny. Okay, do you understand? Y'all piss me off. Because I was sitting there, I watched those podcasts from Shannon Sharpe. I said, that's a pretentious, arrogant, obnoxious son of a buck. All right. Is Sterling rated him? Because I like Sterling so much more. You know, you get people from, like Branford and Wynton Marsalis. Okay. I like Branford so much more than I like Wynton. Wynton's arrogant and pretentious. We black people are the amazing this, and we have so much talent. We are the source of all good music. And Branford's like, Bernie and Elton were the ones that got me wanting to play music. I found Dad's and my brother's stuff kind of pretentious and arrogant. Not that Dad was, but my brother was, Then I sat and listened to, Get Back Honky Cat, and I was like, I want to be a musician too. Right? I was like, I like Branford. Okay, we could hang out. Wynton, I'd be like, you're a talented musician. Let's leave it at that. Okay. I don't like to listen to you talk. I don't like to hear you just blow the fucking horn. Okay, thank you. Let Dad play the piano. Okay, sure. We'll let Mavis sing. Pops will write the lyrics. Okay, right? Son of a bitch, right? We're big rock singers. We got golden fingers and we're loved everywhere we go. We sing about beauty and we sing about truth at $10,000 a show. What about the Lord's Prayer? Shh. Don't let anybody know. This is how we get a lot of little teenage blue-eyed groupies that do anything we say. Right? And a genuine Indian guru that's teaching you a better way. Yeah, remember Judo? The gurus with all the followers. Dios mío. I said it. Yeah, my possessive pronoun. It's funny. What do you know for funny? And so it's really difficult trying to have cognitive and coherent conversations with people at any time, much less today. Okay. I think it's harder today than it was back in the, if we didn't have the technology we have today, okay? But they had like a public access TV thing, and we had, the technology where it was just like you could record it and then broadcast it, right? I'd be one of the most famous people in the world right now. Okay. If it was back in the Jonathan Livingston single time and the Paul Twitchell time, right? Because people are like, okay, this guy makes Twitchell looks like he's painting pictures of his poo-poo and asking for $2 million. And we're all saying, oh, $2 million? Oh, your poo-poo's the best poo-poo ever, right? Okay, so it's what? And so there's obviously manipulation, but people will sit and listen to me talk and think, this guy's just crazy. Really? Yeah. You think I'm crazy. And it's hard because, and I used to say, when I was younger and worked at Blake's and all, I said, well, crazy people think I'm stupid and stupid people think I'm crazy. So I guess that's right where I need to be. But technically, no, because crazy people build technology to keep stupid people stupid. So, and stupid people only believe crazy people technology, right? If it's not in our archives, it does not exist, right? Use the Force, Luke, right? And so you're like, fuck. We suck again. Yes, of course, naturally. It's an ego problem, and it's exacerbated by the technology that manipulates people with their ego problem. So it makes sense logistically, but it does not make sense realistically. You understand? Like unicorns and dragons and credit scores. Okay. Makes sense logistically, but it doesn't make sense realistically. Right? I'm going to manipulate people with this, and I'm going to have sex with the hot girl because she's as dumb as they are. And I'm as dumb as they are too, but I appear more intelligent because of logistics. What about realistic? Shut up. I want to have sex with her. Okay. I think you'll still be able to have sex with her even if we're leaving the Lord's Prayer. Because you guys are mentally and emotionally like right on the same level there. Yeah. Okay. Knock yourself out. But you won't have to pay extortion live here. And no scientist will study you and say, this is what this animal does when they're copulating, right? Are you coitusing me with you? No, I'm not coitusing with you. You're coitusing yourself. You think money's real and you use technology to manipulate people with it. You're coitusing yourself, okay? I'm just a big blonde ape to you. Yeah, you are. Okay? All of you. Put your wigs on. It's not funny. It's not. It's horrible. I see that little girl's face, and you could see the way she was doing the stuff with her mom. It was like something exciting. So she was actually kind of enjoying the process of what was going on. And now she's gone. You got to learn how to face she's gone. You can't pay the devil to replace her. You don't want to clone her. You don't want to buy your granddaughter a robot puppy. Okay? Puppies are better if they get old and pass away like Zeke, but you have a house with a whole loving family and they're all there for him. Okay, that's how Zeke should have passed away. I'm still pissed about that. Well, I'm going to be pissed about that every time I think about Zeke's passing, And Kate was in here to say goodbye, and Natalie and Noah and Emmy and Patrick. And, of course, that they were all here crumbling to him and saying, Zeke, I love Zeke. They sprayed Roundup on his grave. That's what money fuckers do. They don't think we can program people like we're programming a video game. We can't get them to do anything they don't want to do. Logistically. But realistically, do you want to live the Lord's Prayer? It's not time yet. Why? Because you're having too much fun fucking with their heads logistically, right? Okay. Do you see why the books say that I am the focal point of fixing your logistics so we can realistically live and obey natural laws to love one another faithfully? Boop-a-doop-boom, boom, ba-doop-a-doop-boom, boom, ba-doop, ba-na-na-na-na-nut. Do you understand? I don't give a fuck about your hip-hop. I don't give a fuck about your culture or your fashion. I don't give a fuck, okay? I'd just as soon sit in the barn and put on Let's Fall in Love. Why don't we fall in love? You sit there and go, girls, come on now. We broke barriers and all that stuff. She got screwed over for money too. And wasn't it Mrs. Mercedes Pebbles that screwed you over? Okay. Does Sylvia still get paid even when Sugar Hill Gang didn't get no money for, not getting the rights to sign off on good times? These are the good times, right? Money ain't real. You don't need it to pay assholes to live here. Okay? We probably wouldn't have even had the Sugar Hill Gang if y'all had been living the Lord's Prayer. Oh, we'd still have Errol Fitzgerald. Oh, hell yeah. Let's take a stairway to the stars. It will be heaven to you. Yeah, maybe not a tisket a tasket. I don't think we would have had drug addiction as much and stuff like that. But Stairway to the Stars and Let's Fall in Love. The linguistics might have been a tad bit different, but the feeling would have been similar. Young lovers, right? Morning Side of the Mountain. That would be very, that's timeless, right? There was a girl, there was a boy. If they had met, they would have shared a life of joy. But she lived on the morning side of the mountain, and he lived on the twilight. They never met, they never kissed, right? Before You, that's a good one too. Yeah. Mr. Sun, that would still happen even with the Lord's Prayer. That's magical thinking. It doesn't matter, it's adorable. Kiss her for me, Miss Raindrop, and watch and make sure they all do. Please, Mr. Sun, tell her how I feel. It shouldn't end this way, since you are all her friends. She'll listen to whatever you have to say. Babble to her, Mr. Brooke, right? That would probably still exist even if we were living the Lord's Prayer. I've read Proverbs, right? Okay, guys? So, that being said, load this one up. I'm going to go out to the barn and shoot me some hoops for a while, and I'm going to soak, and we'll load another one. Well, after I go to the barn, we'll load another one. We'll wait for that to load. Then we'll soak in the tub and listen to those. We'll get up, and if we have to do it all over again, we will. It's not a miracle if people hear the truth and start passing it on and living it. It's reality. It's realistic, not logistics. It's love. Mr. Hathaway, Amy Whitehouse, no more train wreck, no more getting cleaned up, clean the house. At least she's not drinking. Okay, guys, I love you, all right, man? Peace out.